Today's program is sponsored by the Anthony Vincent Salon. Say hello to beautiful.
Fashion, music, wellness.
And don't forget sex.
Mostly sex.
If it's trending, they'll be talking about it. Trend Radio is right here.
And right now, I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we always have something great to say.
Because it's us. So stay tuned.
You'll be glad you did. Good morning, Elise. We have some very interesting guests today.
We sure do. We always have interesting guests.
That's true,
But
we do.
today is extra special. Today we have with us Harry Filken and Paul Ressler. Why don't you say hello, guys? Good morning.
Hi, everyone. Hi, guys. Nice meeting you.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Happy to be here.
Yes,
We
very
are
nice.
so happy to have you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Paul, why don't you start?
Okay. My name's Paul Ressler, and I am from this area. I live in Hamilton Township. There's a lot to tell. Where do you want me to
Just,
start?
basically, what's your message? What do you want to say today?
Oh, okay. Well, my message is I am an advocate for saving lives from overdoses from heroin and opiates and heroin.
Well, that is a good place to be, an advocate for that.
I lost my son, Corey. He died of an overdose in 2010. He's been gone almost 6 years, 5.5 years. And his life of addiction is imprinted in my soul. And that imprint lives with me and fuels a fire that burns for me to help save lives.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Nice,
That's heavy.
All righty. Well, moving on. Harry, why don't you give us a little information about you?
My name is Harry Filken. Been writing songs since I was 14. Made my living playing on the Jersey Shore in bands. All this while, actually. Yeah.
Well, I just have to say one thing. We were listening to you the other day. We pulled you up on YouTube, Anthony
Yes.
and I. What a sound.
Wow. Yeah.
Fantastic sound you have.
You really sounded cool, and you looked really cool.
He is cool.
Yeah.
He's got a cool look.
Yeah,
He does.
yeah.
Okay.
Tell
let
me about it.
I used to. I don't know about now.
You do. You have a very cool look.
Well, thank
Yes,
you.
yes. And you film very rugged and
But with a great sound. I
Yeah.
love the sound.
Yeah.
We're going to hear a little bit about
That was
a little.
a surprise. That was video. The song "Second Chance."
Yeah.
We were,
And you were fabulous in it.
Was-
So
that
surprise,
was the-
surprise.
the first recording session, and a good friend of ours who works for an ad agency just showed up there with all this high tech equipment, and I didn't know anything about it. It was just like a little surprise for me.
Oh, wow.
So
It was a great surprise, huh?
Yeah.
he did a wonderful job. Yeah.
So, Harry, why don't you tell us, what is it that brought the two of you together, you and Paul?
All right.
Paul seems to think this is funny.
You can't imagine.
I'm sure we can't, but we can't wait to
Go
hear.
ahead, Harry.
I'll start with the important part. A friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, who I played, he's a keyboard player, who I played with since the mid-'70s. His son died of an overdose. I don't want to say his name.
Okay.
And that was about either 3 or 4 years ago. And I was just noodling around on my guitar, and this song started coming out, which I usually don't write that way, but that's what happened. And I actually went upstairs to my wife and was like, I think I'm writing a song for my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And, I wrote it. Another friend of mine, Mark Ribler, who's out on the road.
Oh,
with,
my God, we love Mark.
Mark's out on the road with Darlene Love. He's a guitar and music director for her.
for Darlene Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We love them.
So he said he would record it in his home studio. And it would be like a gift for our friend, our mutual friend, and that's what we did, and that's the recording you heard, yeah.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
So the way we got in touch with with each other after 30 to 35 years ago. This is a weird story.
It's been that long, 35 years?
Yes, we just figured it out about a minute ago. I kept going,
we knew the names.
Paul Ressler, I know that name.
See how we pull people together?
Well, the song, Gene Boscia, another musician,
We
brought
love Gene too.
brought us together by Gene heard Blood of My Blood and said, my goodness, Paul has to hear this song. And when I heard it, it absolutely blew me away. It was like the song I've always wanted to write about my son.
Oh, wow.
And the event of his death and his addiction, and it's all in that song. I mean, I couldn't have written it better. So it is. I hear it, and it is just an amazing song. But the funny part of this is that I did Harry. I'm a CPA by trade, retired. I did his taxes about 35 years ago.
We just figured it out about a minute ago. He's talking about Richie LaBamba and the Hubcaps, who plays. He plays with the E Street Band also. He goes. I said, well, Richie gave me the name of a CPA to do my taxes like 35 years ago. I said, that's you.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's how we know each other. So we were like hysterical laughing in there.
We would love to hear Blood of My Blood. We would love to hear that. Would you like to hear that, Anthony?
Yeah, I sure would.
I think that would be fantastic.
Now, you did not write this song.
No, Harry wrote the song.
Harry wrote the song.
Harry wrote the song. I was just saying
That was the one where you were noodling around, and it just happened.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I was saying if I was to write a song about my son, it would be Blood of My Blood.
And that's why we would like to play this song that Harry wrote. And we would
Sure,
like to
let's hear a little bit
dedicate
of
it to you, Paul.
Thank you.
On this night, oh, the sorrow and pain. In a world without love, what would remain? My story gone terribly wrong. How can I live? How will I go on? Friends say don't be afraid, we'll stand by your side, and we'll send our love on that you can rely. But what would I give, even my life, for just one chance to say goodbye? Blood of my blood, life from my life. In these arms I held you, my son, before there were words to tell of our love. In my mind I look for a thread, something to hold on to. Your clothes on the bed. Friends say don't be afraid, we'll stand by your side, and we'll send our love on that you can rely. But what would I give, even my life, for just one chance to say goodbye? Blood of my blood, life from my life. Blood of my blood,
just the feeling that
Wow, that was
couple of words.
unbelievable.
Thank you.
And you just
I wish, excuse me, I wish that you could see inside my heart, because it brings back, to me, my son's death, and the horrible part of that is gone. I only think of him with love and joy, happiness, and laugh about the things he used to do. And during his addiction, he was criminal. Unfortunately, that's what junkies do. And so there was a lot of grief in our family, a lot of pain, a lot of things that no one, I hope you guys never have to deal with.
it brings out the very worst in everyone.
Well,
it really does.
But the joy
After
of that song
is beautiful.
I don't mind it. Do you mind if I just keep talking? Because I want to tell a story.
Say what you need to say.
Ironic thing about all this is that I have another son, Todd, who's 38, and he was 10 years older than Corey. And I was very concerned about financial things if I were to kick the bucket and die on them, because I didn't want them at it. So I decided to set up what they call a special trust. And while I was at my attorney's office talking about this, I got an emergency phone call from his roommate to tell me that he died of an overdose. And so, your listeners don't know this, but I'm blind. And I just couldn't take that, just hearing about it. I drove up to his apartment, and, he's in his bed, and he's dead, and his body's cold. So no, I can't see him. So I had to do something different to truly understand the depths of what was going on. So I crawled into bed with him, and I just held him in my arms, and I said, that's how I said goodbye to him. And the coroner came, put him in his body bag, and zipped him up, and that was it. But I have to tell you that song, thinking about Corey when he was a baby, and holding him in my arms, and he couldn't speak, and he didn't understand what I would be saying, and we couldn't tell each other how much we loved each other. So the song is just amazing. And Harry, I can't begin to tell you what that song does to me, and it's all good. It's not bad. So thank you to Gene Boscia for bringing us back together again.
My God.
I'm sorry, everyone's speechless.
I got nothing after that.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
But you needed to understand all that,
Thank you, Paul.
Well, I have to just say, excuse me. Thank you.
We're all crying.
Thank you for sharing something so absolutely heartfelt and beautiful.
Yes.
Because that truly, truly is. That we're just sitting here, Anthony and I are just sitting here crying, and Harry is just so sweet sitting there next to you crying. Just so you know, we're all crying. Wow.
Well, everybody knows I'm a 200-pound wussy. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But, okay. That was an incredible performance, Harry. And,
yes, it was.
And, yeah, really beautiful. And I don't even know
Beautiful
what to
story,
say.
Paul.
Well,
told.
It's a beautiful, beautiful story.
I can continue and talk about the positive things that have occurred as a result of his death. I got
Let's hear about those.
You want to hold on to that?
We want to hear the positive side of this.
Harry, you have anything to say? I know you wanted me to do this.
I'd like to hear about.
Okay. When I took possession of Corey's belongings, and we looked at his cell phone, there was an attempt at a 911 call. It was never completed, never sent. And think back about 5 years ago, and if you would be arrested if all the people who were with him were. There was drug paraphernalia in the room. There was drugs in the room, and there were people who had lots of drugs in their system, and they would have been arrested back then because there was no Good Samaritan law. So what happened was they all left. They cleaned up the house, took all their garbage with them, and left. And by the time the EMT got there, Corey was dead.
Oh, boy.
So that really kind of hit home with me. And I just decided that that cannot continue to go on. And a group of friends, others who've lost their children or loved ones to overdoses throughout the state, we got together and we began to find support for a Good Samaritan law. And, call 911. You're not going to be arrested. You want to save a life. And we worked really hard, and we got Senator Vitale in Middlesex to kind of work with the Drug Policy Alliance, and they wrote a bill, a Good Samaritan law bill, and it went through the Assembly and through the Senate, and it went up to the governor's desk. Now, this bill would provide immunity from anyone calling to report an overdose and getting help there real quickly. And the bill went to the governor's desk. It sat there for 45 days. And he was reluctant to sign it because he felt, at least his attorney general was telling him, that it would give drug dealers a free ride. And that's the furthest thing from the truth, because drug dealers don't use with their clients. I mean, it's just like a guy delivering pizza. He doesn't sit there and eat the pizza with the people. It's the same thing. So we finally convinced the governor that was not correct. And along came another bill for naloxone, to get naloxone into the hands of addicts and their families, clinicians, counselors, nurses, doctors. Naloxone is a medication that is an antidote to an overdose of heroin, of opiates, and it reverses the overdose and brings the person back to life until you get to it, if you get to it on time. So the governor combined those two bills and signed the Overdose Prevention Act into law on May 2nd, 2013. And I don't know if you remember this, but John Bon Jovi was at the signing because he had issues with his daughter.
Yes.
Yep.
So, I had gotten in touch with him through my contacts, Southside Johnny and Bob Bandiera and Gary Talent. And so he hooked up with me and put a little pressure on the governor. He signed the bill, and he was at the signing. And I felt that, so great, there's a great act, a great law that passed. So what's going to happen with that? So I started my own company shortly after it passed, I guess in 2014. And we are the Overdose Prevention Agency Corporation. Our acronym is TOPAC, TOPAC, OverdosePreventionAgency.org. And what we do is we go out and educate the public about the Overdose Prevention Act. We focus on the 911 Good Samaritan, and we train people how to administer naloxone. So that's what we do. We raise, hoping to raise money to finance this operation. I've been financing it, but I really need help financially. So that's what I do. That's my life. And I'm fortunate that I have a mission. A mission, unfortunately, that doesn't look like I'll ever reach the end of it, because we're in the midst of an opiate heroin epidemic, and people are dying left and right, young people. So that's what I do now. That's my story. Sticking to it.
That's amazing.
And I've never heard about this Good Samaritan Act.
See, isn't that horrible?
Yeah, never heard about it. This
So
is the
that's
first.
why I do what I do.
Yeah.
Well, we'll be happy to broadcast this as much as we possibly
Yeah.
can for you, Paul.
Excellent.
And anything that we can do to help you.
Thank you very much.
Of course. Got anything there, Harry? Got anything else you want to add to this?
After that,
Yeah.
I'll write the songs. You should write a book, Paul.
I'll write the
Well,
song
you're
like
very
Barry
very,
Manilow.
very
But you
poetic.
don't know all of it.
Paul, are you a musician also, Paul?
No, I was with Southside Johnny for 30 years as his accountant and business manager, and I worked with Gary Talent, Bob Bandiera, Hal Selzer, you name it. Just a lot of Harry Filkin. Let's not forget Harry.
No.
Don't forget
Bobby Lynch. I mean, so many guys. La Bamba and the Hubcaps. I'm an original Hubcap. I was best man at Richie's wedding, and Mark Pender, and I've been around. I'm also a Vietnam vet. I happened to be a medic.
Well, you're an
in
awesome
Vietnam.
guy.
Wow.
That's for sure.
I lost my eyesight 7 years ago. I went in for surgery on my back, and they messed up, and I lost my eyesight like that, like somebody flipped the
gosh.
switch off. So it's been quite a battle, but I'm doing good. I'm feeling
Well, you
great.
look good.
Well,
That's
thank you
what's right.
very much. I feel great.
You sound great, too.
Thank you for this opportunity to share my story.
It's been our pleasure.
Yes, thank you for this opportunity. Right?
It's been our pleasure. And thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you very much
Thank you.
Absolutely.
for making us cry like little
I'm
girls.
sorry.
We do that a lot, though, don't we?
Yeah.
Can we hear Second Chance?
We would love to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Jane, you know that's getting late. Too late to turn back now. Sometimes she feels afraid. What if her best years have passed her by? But Janie's got a second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Can it really be that long ago? She was young and wild and free. Then she followed the dream of the way it was said to be. True love and happiness. Now Jeannie wants a second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Now this is the last dance. She wants someone to hold her, someone to understand, someone to know her. And there's a setting sun fading over the ocean. Maybe you're the one. Maybe you're the one. Now where is that little girl? So happy just to be alive. Did this cruel, cruel world leave you hurt and crying? But crying won't help you now. No, crying won't help you now. You got a second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Second chance. Janie's got a too late to turn back now. Second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Second chance. Janie's got a second chance. Second chance. Janie's got a too late to turn back now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, I think we got a new favorite band.
Oh my gosh. Harry, tell us the name of your band and how people can hear you.
Our new band is called the Harry Filkin Band, because we're doing all my songs.
As it should be, because it is Harry Filkin.
And we're going to do some some old rock and roll fun stuff too, to.
And when and where are you doing this?
The Harry Filkin Band will be making its debut at the McLuhan Supper Club in Asbury Park, right on the boardwalk.
Love that place.
Yeah, it's a great place. Yeah.
What's the date?
That's January 16th, 12:30 in the afternoon. It is very early, part of the Light of Day show.
Oh wow!
And we're opening up for Eddie Mannion from the E Street Band. A sax player.
Fantastic.
Who put out his own record a short while ago.
That's fabulous.
So.
Oh, well, good for you. Good for you guys.
Thank you.
And Paul, you going to be there too?
Of course.
That's fantastic.
I'm hoping that he does so well. He'll need an accountant.
Oh, boom.
Yes, I like that part.
Okay, that's fantastic. Well, Anthony and I would love to see this, so we can't wait for that on January 16th. And we also hope all of our listeners, of course, are listening now and that they're going to be joining us later on today at the Big Man Bash Bar Anticipation at
Bar A.
Yeah,
Belmar.
Bar A, Belmar. Yeah, it's going to be fabulous. And we look forward because you guys are going to be meeting us there too later on. Yeah.
We'll be there.
Yeah, we're going to have so much fun.
Yeah, it should be a good day.
Yeah, we can't wait. Nick Clemens. Oh, there's going to be so many people there tonight. We're looking forward to this, right, Anthony?
Absolutely. I postponed my vacation for this.
I know you did.
Once again, name of my company is the Overdose Prevention Agency Corporation. TOPAC is our acronym. I'll tell you a little bit about what we do because I think some people would be interested in knowing this. We provide training, again, on the key elements of the Overdose Prevention Act, the Good Samaritan part of it, and the administration of naloxone. And we actually have classes in our corporate headquarters in Hamilton. Anyone who's interested, loved ones, we train addicts, loved ones. Anybody who wants to know about this, we also give out a free Evzio kit, which is the delivery system for naloxone, the best one out there. It's an auto-injector. And you can go to our website, overdosepreventionagency.org, and register for classes, learn a little bit about what we do. There's quite a bit of data there, information, and we are not-for-profit, and anyone could reach down deep in their pockets, and anything you can send us, we'd really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Oh, it was our pleasure having you today, Paul. And Harry, just give your information one more time so that people can see you, hear you.
Our Facebook website is Harry Filkin. Just search Harry Filkin on Facebook, and all the information about my band will come up for you.
That's fantastic. And if anybody needs any information, just reach out to us, Anthony and Elise at Trend Radio. You know our email, but I'm going to give it anyway. It's trendradio920@gmail.com. And we look forward to seeing you later. Bye.
Bye for now.
I'm Anthony Vincent of Anthony Vincent Salon. Time for another fun and fabulous beauty tip with our tip chick. And here she is.
Got dry and brittle? Squeeze a little protein pomade into that parched mane. Say hello to beautiful.
Want your beauty question answered on the air? Email us now from AnthonyVincentSalon.com. Remember, for the 150,000 hairs on your head, there's only one choice. Call us now at 609-448-2212. You'll be glad you did.
Don't touch that dial. If you're joining us just now, your favorite salon is now your favorite radio show.
Because we make you healthier, wealthier, and sexier every time you listen.
Tune in to us. I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise, and we are Trend Radio.
And Trend Radio gives you everything you need to know about things no one ever talks about.
Okay, then.
So.
What he said.
Do you know?
I'm sure I do.
You've heard of anal sex before.
Ooh.
That escalated quickly.
Well, it's a thing, and
it's actually a very popular thing.
Yeah, I didn't realize.
It is like huge.
We have a a client who actually is one of the largest East Coast distributors of porno.
Yeah.
And their number one sale
is for something anal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything anal.
Yeah, anything anal is the videos that they sell the most of. It's
and the toys.
Yeah. And it turns out, go ahead, you were about to say?
I was about to say, this blew my mind, but there was somebody that ordered something, an anal toy, and spent $1,500 on it. And I was just like, huh? Like, I was like, how do you, I didn't get it. I'm like blown away. That's a lot of money.
What the hell
for
was
a
the toy? What was the toy? She explained it to me, but I was like, I actually didn't understand it. Wow.
Because it was just something that I just didn't get. But I'm going to have to research it and find out, and then we'll bring that back at another time.
Okay. Well, anyway, white women are the most likely to engage in anal sex, particularly if they're bright. That's right. If they have a college degree.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? I think that's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. So,
what was so amazing to me was that when it came to women having anal sex, that most of the women that did were the bright ones.
That's right.
And so I found that to be interesting because, I don't know. I wouldn't think that it would be contingent on whether you're bright or not.
I wonder if maybe they're more curious.
I don't know.
Because they're brighter, maybe they're more curious about different things.
I don't know, but it's part of a study. And so that's what we thought was so interesting, that it was, that they were actually saying mainly college-educated, bright women. So I just thought that was interesting.
I'm going back to college.
You want to be a grad student.
Yes, exactly.
Because they already have their degree.
Or with one, anyway.
So, I wonder if...
I wonder.
No, if
I wonder.
They can orgasm through anal sex.
Well, that depends. Honestly, most orgasming happens with clitoral stimulation.
Okay.
That's most. But there are some women that can actually orgasm without that. Because again, a lot of it has to do with your mind and your mindset and your brain, as we know. And we talk about that often. The excitement happens in the brain. You're going to feel it, and feeling it is very important, but it goes right to your brain. And so, most need clitoral stimulation. They say that with everything, but there are ways of getting that while you're doing that too. There's just a way.
Well, there are things that can affect your ability to orgasm.
Okay.
And
like what?
Well,
this is according to
this is a study.
Another study.
This is a study, of course, and so and there are some common reasons why you may not orgasm.
Before we go any further, though, let's just tell everybody where this study is, where it's from.
Oh, this study is from a website called She Knows.
Yeah, it's a great website.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that's very cool. All right. So then we can go further. I just want everybody to understand that this actually everything that we do talk about is from a study.
That's correct.
So I just want everybody to know that. So go on. You were saying,
okay.
What are some reasons? So
if you have so few orgasms that you wonder if you're stuck with some defective parts.
Oh, you are, Araya.
You're not really alone. This is according to Planned Parenthood. Roughly 1 in 3 women have trouble with an orgasm.
Really?
Yeah. And this leaves many women feeling broken or ripped off.
I could see where that would make them feel ripped off.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're indulging in sex. They're exciting themselves. They're getting, let's face it, their partner is probably able to orgasm and they're not. That would be a ripoff.
That's right.
In my book.
And, it leaves, many women exhausted.
And empty.
Trying to reach orgasm.
And
they don't.
And feeling empty.
So they fake it.
Ah, is that where the faking comes in?
That's right. Well, you remember that movie?
I think,
what was
when
that
Harry
movie?
met Sally, when Sally was in the deli? Oh, yeah, absolutely. That was a riot. But, I think that, I guess faking it would be, common in a situation like that if they're having trouble reaching it. And this way they actually are not hurting anybody's feelings. But that's where it comes to also. Sometimes I think there are some women that actually do fake it because they're not getting off from their partner and they don't want to hurt his feelings. And I mean, some guys just don't know either. They're like, oh yeah, look, listen to that, and she's doing it. And like in the movie, everybody thinks she's really, really having an orgasm, I mean, right down to Rob Reiner's mother. I'll have what she's having. You know what I mean? She believes it.
That's right. But it may not be you or your partner.
No.
There are oodles of annoying things that get in the way of a woman reaching orgasm.
Okay, like what?
Okay. Your smartphone. Elise, we've been telling people for months to keep the electronics out of the bedroom.
Yes, especially, I mean, come on. When you're in the throes of intimacy, do you really want your phone going off?
That's right. The only electronics you should have in your bedroom are from Doc Johnson's website.
A few toys here and there.
But when your bedroom is full of noise and blue light, texts, emails.
No. You need to keep it a tech-free zone.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder to get there.
Yeah.
And lose the electronics and make your boudoir a tech-free, stress-free zone.
Just what I said.
Mm-hmm.
Tech-free.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And
what else? What else can...
Well, your vagina.
What?
Not your vagina.
I know,
but
not mine. Oh my God.
The
vernacular vagina. I know.
Yes, your vagina, or I should say, your relationship with your vagina.
Why?
Well, research shows the quality of your orgasm is linked to how you feel about your vagina.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and your body in general.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
We've got quite a few things that we talk about.
I understand. It's if you cannot completely let go, and that's probably a big thing. You have to be able to let go. If you're with your partner, you have to understand that you just have to let go. You have to be able to be yourself with your partner.
That's
because
right.
if you're going through your, my body's not so fabulous, and you're in your like, I'm not perfect, I can't show him this or her that, that's going to stand in the way of you releasing. You have to let go of that because, the reality is that if you're together, if he or she is with you, there's a reason for that because they're looking past whatever it is that you don't think is perfect.
That's right. Why are so many women obsessed with body perfection?
What are you talking about?
Instead of having like a great time in bed.
Because people are obsessed with it. People are concerned about it. People are insecure. People don't feel perfect. But the reality is that you don't need to be perfect.
That's right.
Because you're perfect. If you know you're perfect, you're perfect.
You're perfect inside.
And that's what counts.
And outside, you're perfectly imperfect.
And you know what? That's the most beautiful thing. Accept yourself for who you are and enjoy yourself. Because again, the feeling and the goodness all comes from between the ears.
That's right.
Okay?
Don't worry about the angles or the lighting that he's seeing you in. Who has time for an orgasm when you're too busy like directing your sex life like a movie? It's like, oh, I got to do this way. Let me go that way.
No. You can't do that.
That's right.
The most important place you can be looking is right into your partner's eyes.
That's right. And according to Dr. Alice Hucker, clinical psychologist and sex therapist, only a minority of women can orgasm from penetration alone.
Yes. That I was saying before with the anal sex thing. Yeah, because most women need clitoral stimulation. Most do.
That's right.
But some can. And again, that comes from a whole different thing. Yeah.
That's right. And with busy lives, that we all have. You know, exhaustion is a big thing that
exhaustion
that we don't
a
even
factor,
realize.
But that's
right.
a factor with anything. You know, I mean, if that's why you have to sleep.
That's right.
Sleep and take care of yourself so that you can have a very full life.
That's right.
Because you're not going to be able to do things like, you know, even exercising.
And it's hard to get in the mood when all you want to do is sleep.
Exactly. But that's like even exercising or, you know, eating well and, you know, drinking enough water. Everything is a factor. But sleeping is huge too. And this way it can balance your life so that you can have every part of your life going well. You know, especially your sex life, because you're not going to be able to enjoy and let go if you're tired.
That's right. That's right. Make me time a regular thing, and it'll give you that energy boost that you need to get frisky with your partner. And you know, you need to enjoy it. Have them enjoy it.
Sure.
And you need to enjoy it too.
Yeah.
So now. That sounds so simple, but some women fear their orgasm. They're afraid of their orgasm.
You know, I think that sometimes, see, here's the thing. Once you're in the orgasm, you're in the middle of it, there's no stopping. There's no controlling it. You cannot control it. So if
it's like a sneeze, you can't control it.
Exactly.
Can't stop it.
So the thing is, that goes back to body perfection, you know, your body image, your security level. If you don't feel that you can completely let go, you're not going to.
That's right. Their fear is losing control in the moment.
Yeah. And what he or she will see. And the reality is that you have to feel safe enough and comfortable enough with yourself and your partner to be able to do that. So lose the fear, because you're not going to enjoy yourself then.
That's right. It's not uncommon for women to want to reach orgasm and also fear the experience of losing herself in the moment at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. You know, an interesting thing that you can do for yourself, a way you can actually overcome this is, and you know, I'm not telling people, you know, I mean, it's definitely a very positive thing, but light some candles, go home, be with yourself. Okay, light some candles, and you know, they say this in every study. Masturbate. I mean, definitely. And let yourself have an orgasm and see how you feel, and then share it with your partner. And this way, maybe you can get over that concern and that fear of losing control.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because there is no instruction manual, you know.
Yeah,
and if you're
exactly.
not familiar with how your equipment works, and everyone is different, how can you expect your partner,
somebody else to know?
Yeah. You know, women who know their bodies well and have experimented in ways that, you know, to make themselves orgasm, like you just suggested, they're really much better equipped to teach their lover how to make sex more pleasurable and how to help them help her reach orgasm.
And you know, read something, go online. There's like oodles and oodles of information. So read something, because it will just enhance your life.
That's right. In one of our past shows, we talked about, you know, reading the romance novels. And
absolutely. Or erotica. And, you know, there's no shame in any of that.
No.
You know, I'll tell you what, I will absolutely personally help you with this. If you'd like, reach out to us, trendradio920@gmail.com. I will send you a list of information, books, links, whatever it is that you'd like. And this way, that will help you.
That's right. And if you can't get a hold of Elise, just give me a call, and I will do my very best in helping you to reach an orgasm.
Yeah, give your phone number.
Just kidding. Just kidding. My phone number is 609. Now, just in closing, you know, don't get psyched out by focusing too much on reaching the orgasm.
No.
Right.
Just have fun.
That's
enjoy
right.
yourself. Enjoy your partner.
Yes. Enjoy the experience. You know, if having that orgasm is the only goal that you have, you will become too tense to get there.
Yeah. So stop that right now.
Stop it. Did you know?
Ooh, that was loud.
I was playing the drums.
Yeah.
Did Did you know that there's a Danish company that is now exporting sperm to satisfy the world demand?
I know you were talking to me about this. I am very confused. What does that mean?
Well, believe it or not, there's a huge shortage of sperm donors.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And, you might...
That's amazing.
It really is. You would think that donating sperm is like super easy, right?
Oh, I would think, yeah.
Yeah, you just go to the donation center, you watch a few videos, and you leave with a check, right?
I don't think so. I don't think it's actually like that.
No, it is not.
I think there's testing, and I mean, you have to make sure that there's no chemicals in the person's body and that the person doesn't have any illness, and that it's a clear screening of healthy sperm.
That's right. It's
now what's scary is that why is there not a clear screening of healthy sperm? Why are people not as healthy as they should be?
It's not that.
It's not that.
No,
what is it?
It's not unhealthy sperm. It's a shortage of sperm donors.
So people willing to give it?
That's right. That's right. It's a lot more difficult than you think.
Really? Because I never thought. Because do you remember hearing stories of like people in college? They're giving their eggs and their sperm, to get through school.
That's right. I knew a Polish girl that made regular deposits in a sperm bank. Yeah, she.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She'd go up to the teller and say, "Would you like to make a deposit, please?"
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, stop.
Anyway, all kidding aside, donating sperm is a job.
It is.
That's right. And Kimberly Croswick, she's a professor at Duke University, says that potential donors must go to the clinic twice a week. They must abstain from smoking, drugs, and even sex during the process.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And those three things put a lot of men off the donation list.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And that's why there is a serious sperm shortage around the world. Now, it's gotten so bad that Cryos International, that's a sperm bank based in Denmark, they started exporting vials of sperm to over 80 other countries.
That's amazing. Okay, so then they're going to be taking over the world.
That's right. And these 80 countries have resulted in more than 27,000 babies.
So everybody will be a little bit Danish.
That's right. That's right. In fact, they export 96% of production. And there are about 1,000 donors on this company's rosters who are paid about $76 per donation.
Wow.
So
that is crazy.
Mm-hmm. And you had said, about testing, once the people are tested to make sure there's no drugs, no smoking, no STDs.
That I think is really important. That is really important.
These vials are sold for over $1,000 a vial, depending on the potency of the donor. So they get $76 to donate it, and then it is tested and sold for over $1,000.
Oh my God! Wow. So this company is making a fortune.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
And do you know who the biggest market is for these donors? The people who are purchasing it.
Tell us.
It comes from single women.
Well, yeah. Well, you know what? They don't think about this. Also, what's going on with the single woman? They have careers. They don't have time for relationships, but they don't want to miss out on their time clock, really, and they want to have a child. So they are the ones that are going and having these babies, with no husband, and they can afford to have these children because they have these big jobs, but unfortunately, they don't have the time to take care of or raise the child, so they hire nannies.
That's terrible right there.
And there you have it.
Yeah. These single women make up about 50% of the demand. And according to projections, within the next 5 years, single women may reach as high as 70% of the market.
Huh. Wow.
So the biggest challenge is recruiting a diverse group of men to donate and satisfy the demand.
That's crazy. Any interested parties, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. We'll give you all the information.
Elise, I am so very, very proud of you.
Oh, for what?
Well, that you, and when I say you, I mean we, that we have the courage to talk about sex the way we do.
Why shouldn't we?
Well, it's the kind of sex that nobody wants to talk about it.
Yeah, but it's important to actually be able to discuss this so that people can understand it, learn from it, enjoy it, and understand that there's nothing to be fearful of.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And, we give you the facts right from the doctors, the therapists, and legit studies.
Yeah.
This
absolutely.
is real stuff.
I know it is. That's
that
why
you're
I'm
not going to hear anywhere.
But that's why it's not a fearful thing to discuss. Because it is real.
It's real.
Yeah,
that's right.
It's part of life.
And you have a tremendous ability to present these facts and stories and ideas in a very gentle and often humorous way. So
well,
I'm very proud of you, and I am.
Well, thank you.
I am so privileged to have you as a co-host.
Well, thank you.
So thank you.
I'm so happy to be your co-host.
Well, and I'm your co-host.
I know.
We host together.
I know that. I'm very well aware of that.
Okay.
I was just saying I'm so happy that I'm your co-host.
Thank you.
I'm happy you're mine too.
All right. Well, as a professional hairstylist, and you a professional
makeup artist, nail technician,
yes.
Stylist to, the stars. We are, absolutely.
And,
the stars in our eyes.
Life coach.
Absolutely.
We hear a lot about people's sex lives.
Yes, we do.
And also their lack of sex life.
Yes, that's true.
So, how much you have and how fulfilling it is, quantity versus quality. For example, did you know that a couple that fights intensely but has regular sex, and a couple who fights just as often and is not doing much of anything in the bedroom, it seems that the relationship satisfaction tracks with sexual satisfaction.
Agreed. The thing is that if you can still find it, you can fight. People are going to fight. Some people fight. They just do. I don't necessarily agree with it. I don't think there's any reason for it, but sometimes you just can't help yourself and you do. But if you can find a way to separate yourself from that and know that you actually love this person and you want to be with this person and you find the place, the common bond, which is typically in the bedroom, if you find a way to do that, you can get past so much. You may not agree on everything, but you agree on that. So that's fantastic for relationships.
Yes, it is.
But again, I don't think you necessarily need to fight so much. You need to be able to learn how to communicate.
Communication is always the most important thing.
I think so.
Yeah, there's a study out of Canada that investigated the sex lives and relationship satisfaction of 244 people over the course of 18 months.
Wow, it's a lot of people.
That's right. The findings was that intimate communication. You're just amazing. You said it first. The finding was that intimate communication was the key indicator of relationship health.
Yeah.
And the more of it, the better.
Yeah. That's really important.
Intimate communication is the amount of time people spent talking about disagreements, expressing their thoughts and feelings to each other, and discussing shared interests.
Wow. And sex, that counts as a shared interest?
Yes, it does.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, it does.
Wow.
And the more you talk about it, the better it's going to be.
I imagine that is because, again, we're right back to it happens right between the ears.
That's right.
So if it's fulfilling, your conversation is fulfilling, it's going to feel good. And, you're still going to have that same endorphin lift if you're talking about it or if you're doing it.
That's right. So Elise and I promise today that we will be talking about more relationships, more health, more sex, and the challenge, how to do it.
Wow.
How to talk about it, that is.
Amazing.
Get your mind out of the gutter. You've been listening to Trend Radio, where we talk about what's hot every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Do you want more? Go right to our website, 920thejersey.com. Click on demand and scroll down directly to us.
And if you have a topic of interest that you want us to discuss, or you'd like to be a guest on our show, email us now at trendradio920@gmail.com. You'll be glad you did.
And remember, your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card.
But how you make people feel, well, that becomes your trademark.
I'm Anthony Vincent.
And I'm Elise.
And we'll talk to you next week.
Bye for now.